Travis Gillespie here, and what we're going to do here is create a scatter plot and then actually see what the correlation is, if there is one. So basically, we're given this table, and on the table, oh, that is way too big. Let me change the size real quick. Within this table, we're given information based on the number of runs scored over the last 7 games of a middle school softball team. So these are the runs actually scored. I'm just going to write runs. You could write scored if you want with it. Let's say, alright, so in game 1 there were 3 runs, and in game 2 there was only 1. 3 there was. And it looks like I'm going to need a couple more tables here, so I'll go ahead and create those as well. That should hopefully do it for the amount of columns that I'll actually need. Just to finish this off here. Cool. So anyway, back to the chart. So over the last 7 games of the season, and they want us to graph that scatter plot like I had said, so we got 5 and 6 game and 7. So I could have stopped there. And now from here, the scores are for these last 3 games, 12, 10, 12. So 12, 10, and 12 again. Cool. So taking this information, time to create a scatter plot. And the cool thing about scatter plots is it allows you to see trends, sometimes that you wouldn't really see in a table. So maybe I'll just go, yeah, I'm going to zoom out here just for now, and going to go ahead, I'm going to erase that and then relabel. I don't want to move it over some to the side here. Cool. So from here, grab my brush and colors, we are good to go. So in my chart here, the way that I'm going to label this is the games will be on the bottom, and the runs scored is on the vertical axis. So the cool thing about scatter plots is they actually allow people to see trends, like I had mentioned. I think I just mentioned that. But what I want to get into with it is that if you do see trends, then maybe you actually will see lines with it. And if you see lines, well, we call those trend lines. Cool, and I'm just separating some of this stuff out for now, but I need to probably get a darker color to label the next point, so we'll call this 0, say 1. In fact, let's do this. I'm going to call this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Now I'm going to cut these up into intervals of 2 here. So this will be 2, 4, 6, and 8, 10, and 12. Cool. So now it's time to label these points. So on game 1, 3 scores, only 3 scores were run. So I'll label right here. And at game 2, it looks like there was 1. So looks like we went down. But then in game 3, hey, there are 5. So I'm just labeling all these points here. Game 4, we had 9. Game 5, there are 12. Game 6, there are 10. Game 7, there are 12 again. Cool. So is there actually a trend? And yeah, you can see one. As these values of x, or the games, they increase, variable on the y-axis also, or the vertical axis, they increase as well. So yes, there is some sort of a trend going on, and when they increase along both axes, then what we call this is a positive correlation. So getting a new color here, I'm just going to draw that correlation in. And what I'm creating here is the trend line, or the line of best fit. So it seems like that would possibly be the line of best fit right in there. So, well, we don't have many points here, and they're not very uh, tightly packed. So, with this amount of information, I can't really call this a strong positive correlation, but I could call it a weak positive correlation because I do see some positive trend. I believe there's a positive trend or correlation here. And yes, I would call this a weak positive correlation. So what's this graph really telling me? What's correlation? What's the relationship here? And the relationship is this: as the players play more games, as they play more games, they score more runs. So what it really looks like is that the team is getting better over time. And well, I don't know how many runs they would score if they played more games. What if we had 100 games on here? Would this become an even? Would they score 100 runs? Well, no, I don't think so, but I'd probably see if they played 100 games here between game 1 and game 7, I'd probably have an even stronger correlation and actually turn this, or I'd have a stronger correlation on the graph because the points would be more compact together. And if that were the case, I'd have a strong positive correlation. Cool stuff. So remember, if you see a trend or you can see lines before you draw any on um, the graph, then you've probably got a trend line or a line of best fit that can be drawn. And if that's the case, then what you try to do is approximate a direct line through all the data. And just like I did here with the red line. So this is cool. Scatter plots are they're fun and they're powerful. Have fun with them.